Welcome to Section 4 of Hazardous Drugs and Your Safety, Balancing Cutting-Edge Medicine and Team Welfare. In the next 10 minutes, you will learn what a closed system transfer device is. You'll learn how this can help keep your team and your patients safe, and you'll learn when you should be using these devices. Can you think of a little thing that makes a big difference in your life? There are many material and non-material small things in our lives that make a big difference. This applies to chemotherapy as well. A closed system transfer device is one of those small but important things when it comes to safety. The goal is nothing in and nothing out. A closed system transfer device, or CSTD, is a device that mechanically prohibits the transfer of environmental contaminants into the system and the escape of the hazardous drug or vapor concentrations outside the system. CSTDs are another type of PPE that can be used for any cytotoxic chemotherapy agent, although not necessarily for all hazardous drugs, during preparation and administration. Protecting yourself is key. There is an entire ACVIM small animal consensus statement on the safe use of cytotoxic chemotherapeutics. They note that as use of cytotoxic chemotherapy in veterinary practice increases, there is a greater risk of cytotoxic exposure in the workplace and the patient's home environment. Handling of cytotoxic drugs has been classified as an occupational health hazard according to a National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health alert. When can exposure to cytotoxic drugs occur? For staff, risks occur during handling, preparation, and administration of the drugs. Pet owners risk exposure when they administer medications at home and also when they are exposed to secretions and excreta from their pets. These latter exposure events also are risks to veterinary staff when patients are hospitalized after their treatments or admitted for treatment of adverse events. The routes of exposure include skin contact, skin absorption, inhalation of aerosols or drug particles, ingestion, and needle stick injuries. Proper use of CSTDs to ensure containment of hazardous drugs during compounding and administration and methods of preventing aerosol formation and spread of contamination should be taught as part of a safety-first approach. So why does a closed system transfer device help? By avoiding the escape of drug or vapors. A CSTD is recommended during preparation and administration of chemotherapeutic drugs. It mechanically prevents the escape of a drug or vapor out of the system and into the environment. It helps because a CTSD should decrease the risk of needle accidents during administration. The components include an adapter for the drug vial, a piece that attaches to a Lure-Lock syringe or needleless system, and adapters that allow connection of the needleless syringe to the fluid lines. The adapter for the drug vial is designed to prevent the release of aerosols, vapors, and droplets during compounding. It protects the pharmacist, technician, or veterinarian. It ensures that the exterior of the hazardous drug bag or syringe is not contaminated, preventing subsequent exposure in patient care areas. A second component is used to transfer the hazardous drug from the vial to the IV bag. These components also protect nurses during and after administration by preventing leaks that occur when connecting and disconnecting IV bags, tubing, and syringes. In theory, CSTDs should provide completely dry connections from compounding through disconnection and disposal. By design, a CSTD will decrease aerosolization of a drug during preparation and administration and prevent accidents during administration. Multiple studies have shown a decrease in environmental contamination with the use of a CSTD. CSTDs offer enhanced protection against potentially hazardous exposures to healthcare workers during the compounding and administration of hazardous drugs. The AHA guidelines note that FDA approval of CSTDs requires the following capabilities: no escape of hazardous drugs or vapor, no transfer of environmental contaminants, and the ability to block microbial ingress. Up until recently, closed system transfer device studies evaluating their effectiveness have been a very difficult task, in part related to the lack of a standardized test. In 2016, NIOSH published a new proposed protocol. Most manufacturers have issued white papers demonstrating the purpose and effectiveness of their product, but these do not represent independent studies published in a peer-reviewed journal. Studies can be performed using the actual drug with wipe testing to determine droplet contamination, or with surrogates used in place of hazardous drugs. Drug surrogates, such as fluorescein, which glows under black light, or titanium tetrachloride, which releases visible smoke when it comes in contact with atmospheric moisture, and acidic basic solutions, which are tested with common pH paper, have been used. While all CSTDs may not be equally protective, research shows that CSTD use can reduce hazardous drug contamination. Chemoclave has solid supporting evidence. Here are some examples of published CSTD studies. The Spiros and Genie, marketed together as a Chemoclave system, mean no lure adapters are required. Spiros is a closed male lure device designed to open after being connected to another needleless lure device. The Genie, a small balloon that becomes inserted into the vial after being spiked, was designed to equalize pressure within the vial. Staff need to be comfortable with the CSTD of choice. ICU Medical has developed a new external polyethylene-lined metallicized nylon balloon vial access device that will replace the Genie and is available for use with either the Spiros lure system or the Chemolock system. Chemolock is known for its ease of use. It has a single motion click-to-lock design that requires no lining up. CSTDs can greatly reduce the potential for hazardous drug exposure to clinical personnel and should always be used concurrently with other PPE. Traditional needle and syringe techniques for mixing hazardous drugs create the potential for droplet or aerosol contamination. CSTDs prevent mechanical transfer of external contaminants, harmful aerosols from escaping and exposing personnel, and bacterial contamination. From start to finish, NIOSH recommends healthcare workers use a CSTD throughout the hazardous drug handling chain, from pharmaceutical compounding to patient dose administration. Make sure you have the complete package. CSTDs form only one part of a complete hazardous drug safety protocol and are not a replacement for PPE. The complete package includes labels and material safety data sheets, written and accessible hazardous drug safety protocols, education and training sessions, personal protection equipment, and CSTDs. Stay safe, saving lives. Thank you so much for joining us for this session on hazardous drugs.